Right. Uh-oh. I ain't hearing nothing. Okay. Or am I? Yeah. Gotta get it straight. You know how it is. Man. Yeah, here I am. Okay. What's happening? Good afternoon. And all that. Alright. Let me take this off. Yeah, I know I'm still getting it together. I'm learning though. I am learning. All right now. What is the thing? Accepting the truth. Right? What truth? What truth, she? There's many truths, right? There are. I mean, there's many ways to look at it depending on the situation. The truth. Oh man, the same truth. The same truth. It's a sad situation. I feel bad for us in general, for our generations, for this whole thing, this whole situation, man. It's like everybody seems to be going to the same thing. I had some video clips. I'm gonna have to do that on another thing. But I'm looking at this deal with 50 Cent and his son, Marquise, going through pretty much the same thing me and some of my children going through. Brainwashed by the mother, taught a bunch of shit. They talk just like, you could hear it. Like, you sound like a chick. You sound like a baby mama. And a lot of people saying it. And, perception is, I check out the comments as we all do. Like perception is though, like certain people, most sort of see it. Like I got a lot of footage, so I'm gonna put it together and do my best to make it good. There's him saying whatever, 50 saying whatever, and the mama saying whatever, Shaniqua. So well, I'm a man. I'm more on in 50 shoes. But man, you could look at stuff and see when somebody's asked the question and they answer the question that they're asked or not. Or they talking in circles, deflect, avoid. It's when you don't recognize that, or when that's what you do, or the sister code, you know what I mean? When that's what you do and or is going along with the sister code, well, you're going to amen that. You're going to say 50 wrong, he wrong for that. I think, most people should understand that you can't have somebody home all the time and have a lot of money. You just can't have it both ways. You got to be home all the time with not a lot of money, or you got to be working. And when you work, on a level that 50 is, man, the things that he's doing, naturally, how you gonna be home all the time? Come on now, man. That ain't making no sense. The dude gotta be gone. But that's another thing. It ain't so much about that. It's about the baby cracking them eggs. About we've been walking on eggshells since day one. Everything we had to do was being careful. Like, how you think we became the way we are? Sensitive, empaths. You had to anticipate somebody that mood switched all the time, drastically, from 1 second to the next, like a breeze blowing. And how you just deal with that, and you're a kid, man. We perceive things from the way that a kid perceives it, not from the way that an adult perceives it. How you gonna lay there and think like a grown up when you just a baby, you just a small child? Don't work like that. So we got to accept the truth that we was raised as men and as women, as boys and girls, with a lot of fucked up ways. And I'm gonna say it ain't so much about, to me, about being raised. Well, it is, but let me explain it. Like raised to be a wife, raised to be a husband, whatever. I mean, you're raised to be a good person. Perhaps you could figure that out more easily. That would be ideal. Because it's all constructs, but you got to construct something, right? It had to be some kind of structure. Otherwise, what? Chaos. You got to have some kind of order that makes sense. I mean, people pairing off or whatever. Man might have to take many wives, like I say. Shit ain't just that simple, man. So, if we raised with the wrong ideas or no ideas of what it takes, man, I think I was on the right track, though. If like I'm talking about that Shaniqua broad, when you listen to them and they talking in circles and not answering the questions and being unrealistic, and that's on an interview on YouTube with somebody, you know what I mean? Like, man, you know what reasonable is and what it's not. That's all I say. And imagine if ain't no camera on and ain't nobody and it ain't to the world. How they gonna be? How they gonna act? You know? They know, and then they're not gonna be honest. A lie, you gonna lie. So we gotta accept the fact that we have many generations that's messed up. Anybody that made it out okay to good to excellent, I don't know who that is, but I'm sure there's some. Man, you're fortunate because people is messed up. They losing it, and that's why they losing it. That's why these dudes is killing these chicks, the ones that are. It is, It's both ways now. The chicks is killing the dudes killing the chicks. I don't know who's killing more, who's losing them more, but I know who the culprit is at the end of the day. Who just like in the family, but this is on a bigger scale. Just like in the family, they do their dirt. They wind people up. They program people to be destructive, and then they wash their hands of it. That sounds familiar. And blame the people that's doing it. Damn, that sounds familiar. And everybody's a good mother. The evidence says otherwise, though. But everybody said they did a good mother. Damn, I got this one, too. I got to really do this one. They said that this broad, and this is a perfect thing, slogan for those chicks. She's a substantial threat to the environment. The fuck? One broad in a park is a substantial threat to the environment. Ban. Yeah, that's coming up. You know, I got to get specific. Like I say, these things, man, I don't know how they be. It's some work. My hat's off to people that's doing this and making it look easy and everything, cause it ain't. It really ain't. Yeah. So we raised into this. Our normal is unfortunately being treated like shit. Being used to being treated like shit by a woman, by a female. You know, and that could have something to do with why the broads don't, why women be booted up at each other too. You know, maybe it boils back to that. You know, it's all the same. Mama, good old mommy dearest. I'm sad. I mean, I'm saddened. I'm saddened that this is the truth, but we got to face it. So we're not taught anything. We go to church. Church is supposed to teach you everything. And then what church don't teach you, school teach you. Home, you get what you get. You get something. You get teaching. You get taught. You don't get nothing. But home get off the hook more than anybody else. Home is too tired. Home don't have no time. Home go to school and cuss the teacher out. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna cuss the preacher out, but they'll cuss the teacher out. Cuss the whole school out. The whole class, the principal, whatever. Man, I done seen some stuff, you know, they'll throw a fit. You know? So that's normal to us. So for a woman, like, and the sad thing is, man, you know, like you're talking about therapy, like, man, you're going to be going to therapy for 1,000 years, 100 years, because you got to deal with the hard, cold facts, and then you can't never peel that layers off of that shit. You're never going to get to it. That, you know, mama did us a disservice. Nobody want to hear that shit. They say you can't talk bad about mama. You can't say nothing about mama. Everybody want to jump on you. Motherfucker don't even know you want to jump on. That's your mother. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know my mama. Like, dude, you know, people have, not me, but, you know, people throw their kids in trash bags and in dumpsters and shit. Do all kind of foul shit to them. Neglect them. Leave them in the house by themselves for days at a time to go off with some dude or you know, whatever the situation is. Or even if they're in the house, man. Like, it be like they're not there. They be in the house the whole time, but don't want to be bothered with you, you know. And like, yeah, I know you can't, you ain't gonna be in no child face all the time. Of course not. But they'll never want to be bothered. The least, just feed you in the just the bare minimum. You know what I mean? So we growing up being treated bad, getting the bare minimum. Didn't taught nothing about relationships, what we should be looking for in a mate, and all of these different things. So we grow up and just think whatever we want. Think it's just gonna be better because I'm better. I'm a better person. And go into something with somebody that's just like your mama. In the man's case, you know, that's just like your mama. So now what? Now you trying to make things work because, you know, I ain't gonna be like that. I'm not gonna be no punk, you know, like my pa. No, my daddy, you know, henpecked man. Like I said, the dudes that's there, I'm one of the few people in the hood with a father. But it's all, I mean, I ain't gonna say it's almost like not having none. It's you have somebody there, you see him, you go to work, you come home, you go to work every day, he gone all day, he come home, he might watch you on the weekend, you can't touch nothing, you can't move, you got to be quiet, like it's something. So I could see how people might hate their daddy and all that just behind that, but I never really did. I never looked at it like that. Mom was so dominant, you know, you can't look at it like that, not to me. So, man, they end up getting a pass in a way. He get a pass, but not. I have, but they shouldn't, cause you almost worthless. Like you've been beat up by this woman. I guess it must be the same thing, right? He raised that way, found a wife like that to beat up on him, tell him he ain't shit, reinforce what his mama put in him, and shit. He done drunk the Kool-Aid all the way. You just go, which maybe they did that back in them days. You just go to work, give her your whole check, to the point, man, you got to be a man, more man than that. I'm just saying, that's ridiculous. Like give her the whole check, to the point you never have no money. Like I can never go to my daddy and ask him for no money. I ain't got no money, boy. I ain't got no money, boy. I always have to ask mama. So she controlled everything, including the money. $1. You ain't got $1, man? Ask your mom. I ain't got no money. Like, you don't see what that's like, so you grow up with that. And what you think you gonna end up with, man? Like, that's messed up. It's a setup. It's a setup to fail. That's the truth, facing the truth. We set up to fail. We almost all set up to fail. And even, motherfucker, be in marriages for 20 years, but hating each other for a good 19 or 18 of them. They hate each other and end up getting a divorce. So, shit be misleading. We being very misled. All the people that be married for 5 years, 9 years, 2 years, 3 years, get a divorce, get remarried. The fuck Jennifer Lopez and what's his name? They got married, remarried. Like, look at her life. Beautiful, rich, famous. Like it's evidently some of the same thing. Some of the same shit, because they're affected too. I just think, man, if they got it, you gotta know, just like everything else, we got it the worst. Black people always have everything, the worst unemployment, the worst sickness. We got the worst cases of narcissist mothers and things, And I know that they got it too. They got it bad. All of them do. Indians, whoever. Jewish, all nationalities. Obviously. Especially anybody that, if you held slaves, but just living in a society like that, where you gotta play along and get along and ignore shit. Only the ones that was about that work, perhaps, might not be. You gotta be realistic. Wrong is wrong and right is right, regardless to what the law says. Which is why I'm just saying we got to learn self-control. Ain't nothing like self-control, because we wasn't taught these things. Ain't nobody got self-control hollering and fussing and cussing and losing their shit every damn day and making everybody else fucking miserable. That is not self-control. Like, so if you come up like that, your whole life has been that. You got in relationships like that, your whole life has been like that. You got another one and another one and another, like it's always been like literally your whole life. Discipline, time off. If ain't no break between mates, between dating or whatever you want to call it, if ain't no break, how that's gonna work? We don't know ourselves. We done went straight from mama trying to get out that hell and end up jumping right into a relationship, and 9 times out of 10 another, like, and that's all it is. From mama, jump into something and repeat. Just repeat. Keep going through that again, thinking that I ain't looking for the perfect person to love me, to complete me, and all that. But the discipline is loving yourself. It's hard to love you. It's hard to love you. We say it. I'm sure we think it. We believe it. But it's truly hard to love yourself and be your best friend and talk to yourself inwardly. I mean, if you do it with your mouth, that's on you or whatever. But, inwardly. That's the thing. That's the, everybody ain't going to get it. Everybody's not equipped. Everybody can make it anyway. But that's the counseling. Like your inner work. That's the God within you. If you talking to God, and it's real, but it's not easy. It is not easy. It can be, it could crack you up. But you got to do it for some period of time. What period of time? Man, more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. Because I know I wouldn't trust it. I don't trust it. I mean, I'm learning. I haven't had any necessarily bad experiences from this particular thing. But if you get somebody, including me, I have been on the other side because I've been separated from my wife, but then end up going back. So what's that? Like, if you get with somebody that's separated from their wife or their husband for a short amount of time, maybe if it's a long time, like a year or some shit, and they say they're separated, but even that I question, because you got to feel it out. They still might be hitting, tapping. They might be they little whatever sneaky link on the slick. Stranger things happen. You got to spend some time by yourself. And so how you do that? Falling for things, being weak. When you take your mind and focus it on something worthwhile that you need to be doing, and take it off of coochie or take it off of a bone, whatever, you'll get farther in life. You'll get stronger. And once again, it ain't easy, but focus. Keep focusing. Believe that you can do what you think you're going to do, or you want to do what it is you're trying to do, and do it. You got to break the pattern. Yes, it's hard, but once you break it and get into a new pattern, well, then that's your pattern. Get in the pattern of not falling for the dumb shit, falling for the bait, being thirsty, as they say. That's why they call them dogs, man. You ever see, you see how dogs are? They don't have no shame, no control. They'll hump all on your leg, sofa. I seen one humping on a thing, humping a stop sign. They gonna get it any kind of way they. That's why they say, they be saying that men are dogs or whatever. But the ones that are the one, maybe we all be there at one point in time where you have no self control, but you ain't really taught nothing like that. They be scared to talk to you, man. My mom, dad ain't taught to me nothing about no relationships or the opposite sex. They was like very uncomfortable. With anything, when you talking about things, you talking about narcs and different things, you talking about feelings. I don't know. That don't go over too well. Things that involve feeling. They'll just tell you, be careful, or out there in the streets, all kind of stuff out there. And, like little loose things. Nothing for real. Like, okay. I wish you have a conversation with me. I tried. But yeah, well the thing because of the let me back up just a little bit because of the thumbnail talking about cracking them eggs, walking on eggshells. Speaking of that, every day, every day, where that gets familiar. And the thing is, man, we get wired to like might be too strong, but it's a pattern. We get used to it, and when it ain't there, we might feel what you call it, withdrawals, feel sick because somebody ain't treating us bad. We ain't getting cussed out. We ain't going on it. Our emotions ain't going up and down and up and down and around and up and down and in circles. We like this peace shit. I don't know. I don't like it. Don't feel right. I need some drama. You got to change that. You got to change that pattern, man. Your whole life. Say we be all in the stomach. If we could possibly remember being in our mama's stomach, we was in there, in the water, in the thing, in the just talking, cussing, fussing, talking shit, muffled. Man, the things I done seen, though, I didn't even want to say some of them, a couple things. It's just ridiculous, man. Why you be so nasty and hateful to people? And my daddy was just so calm and wouldn't. I'd be like, man, say something back, dude. If he ever did, I mean, shit, that just really make it worse. And that's what he knew. If he ever said anything back and tried to defend himself in any way, then now it's 2 more hours. She gonna talk to all into the night. Like, who's that hyped up that you could go on for hours just fussing and talking shit, dragging for a motherfucker? That's psychologically damaging to children. That's abuse. That's abuse. That's abuse and is abuse. You're abusing him and you're abusing your children. All with words. Like, and then talking about 50 Cent's son. 50 Cent's son gonna say, how could I hurt a grown man if I ain't, that's his mama talking, if I ain't shoot him, kill him, stab him, or no, you know what I mean? So, you're saying without saying that you hurt him. You said shit to purposefully hurt him, and you trying to play it off by saying that shit. It's like, that's a liar script shit. Like, it's obvious to see through that, to me. Like, I see through that clear as day. I am lying about this. So I'm saying this to throw you off. I'm so smart. The fuck? Come on, man. That don't even make, Yeah, I can't wait to get on that. But it's a lot. Everything is a lot. Hold your shit together. Hold it together. But I'm saying this is the therapy is within. You gotta go within your mind. Spend time in your mind to get things together. Everything that's out here. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. But everything that's out here, including this, is from someone else's mind. Including YouTube. Including TV and movies and the music. Anything you can see, watch, hear, whatever, all that is created. That's someone else's creations. Go within your mind. I mean, they had to go Even if they copied it, they still had to do some kind of digging in their mind to figure out a way to make it maybe look a little bit like they ain't copying it, you know. So you got to go in the chain, in the look, self reflection, cause from those the narcissist mother, the narcissist ex, whatever the case, toxic narcissist, bipolar, whatever. You're never gonna get no closure from them. You're never gonna get no conclusion. It's on us. Therefore, it's on us just to move on and get our shit together. And not keep falling for the same thing. Why I keep attracting? Because you're weak. Why I keep attracting the same crowd? Because you're weak. And you're weak, you're beat. We can't be weak. It takes strength. That shit ain't no game. You don't call it strength for nothing. Inner strength, inner reflection. You ain't gonna get it. Like I said, you can listen to that fucking music and all that. There's some shit that will steer you on a good path and get your mind enlightened and all that. Don't get me wrong. More probably movies than anything else. Maybe some TV. Maybe music. But mostly not. You know what I'm saying? Mostly maybe some books, definitely. You know, but they make movies off of books, so therefore some of that's going to be there, you know. So if you could find some of that kind of stuff, some of that uplifting, enlightening, bringing you to another level, and where you can stay there and still go within. You still got to go within yourself to realize what needs to be changed, you know. That could help along the way. That's just my little suggestions, man. I guess I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to add as much as I can and make it as accurate as I can right now, you know. I will say this though. I forgot. I got this. If I can put this up. No. Yeah, so even if you want to go, I don't understand. Like they be saying they're Christians, so I don't understand. If you want to go on a religious level, here it is right there. Proverbs 21, verse 9. It is better to live in a corner of a roof than in a house shared with a contentious woman. 25:24. It is better to live in a corner of the roof than in a house shared with a contentious woman. 21:19. It is better to live in a desert land than with a contentious and vexing woman. I mean, you can read it. A constant, what is that? A constant dripping on a day of steady rain and the contentious woman are alike. Well, that's sort of what I was just saying. On and on and on and on. Drip, 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 drip. Oh, a foolish son is destruction to his father, and the contentions of a wife are a constant dripping. Wow. A foolish son is destruction to his father. Now I mean, y'all know, if you do know, I don't, you know, I mean, the Bible has value, but I know, well, I believe I know most of the truth. I mean, off evidence, things that I've seen. So, they tamper with it. It's just stolen materials, our stolen works. That's why so much of it does make sense. But I'm not trying to get into that that part of this, just this part of this, you know, just to bring it full circle that however you slice this, that's not supposed to be going on like that, man. We got to do better. So if you follow the Bible, if you say you're a Christian, follow the Bible, do what the Bible say. If you, or you're not. That's why I know I'm not. Not that's not why I know I'm not. I'm not because I'm not, because of all that hypocrisy and whatnot. And other reasons. But like I said, I ain't trying to get to that. But this right here, I think I got my stuff confused a little bit, mixed up. But nevertheless, this is where keep loving her. This is, yeah, I got it mixed up. That the guy was saying, this particular guy, that wrote that article. Yeah, this dude, John Piper, basically his opinion is to keep loving her and treat her better than she deserves to be treated, which is also why I say that's that bullshit. That's why narcissist women love a Christian man. That's what they looking for. They don't practice none of it. Half of them don't even go to church, let alone, you know. And whether they do or they don't, they go and they come out and they do whatever they want. It means nothing. It's just for show. To pretend. It's a what you call it? Staging thing. They acting. Role play. They playing the role of a Christian. I think it's a little disorganized, but I'm learning. I just started learning how to get this stuff up here. Okay, yeah, that's valuable. I mean, you see what I'm saying, though, right? Proverbs 5:20. Why be captivated, my son, by an immoral woman, or fondle the breast of a promiscuous woman? All right. He was crossing the street near the house. Okay, of an immoral woman strolling down the path by her house. It was at twilight in the evening as deep darkness fell. The woman approached him seductively dressed and sly of heart. She was the brash, rebellious type. Feisty. Never content to stay at home. Man, that sounds familiar. She is often in the streets. She for the streets. She is often in the streets and markets, soliciting at every corner. Yeah, that sounds about right. The adulteress. A prostitute is a dangerous trap. A promiscuous woman is as dangerous as falling into a narrow well. She hides and waits like a robber, eager to make more men unfaithful. To yourself. I hear what they're saying, but to yourself. Because she a hoe. You know what I mean? So either way it go, you don't need to be fucking around with a hoe. What good that's gonna do? That's that dog mentality that I'm talking about. Think, man. It ain't worth it. and then she get pregnant. What you think that's gonna be like? That's what we dealing with now. But we wasn't taught this. Like, they teach you what they want to teach you. Talking about going to church, they teach you what they want to teach you. I don't really, you don't get this. This the stuff that they all should be really uh, um, focusing on. A lot of this to help all of us. So, mama and the church dropping the ball. If you really think about it, because I mean, it's in the Bible. If you want to read it, just like they got books. School ain't gonna teach everything, but they got a library. She hides and wakes like a robber. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I've done nothing wrong. The mouth of an adulterous woman is a deep pit. A man who is under the Lord's wrath falls into it. Evil in their hearts. That is why God abandoned them to their shameful desires. Even the woman turned against the natural way to have sex and instead indulge in sex with each other. Sounds familiar? Don't run after her beauty. Don't run after her beauty. For their commands is a lamp, and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is the way to life. That's ain't that. See, I ain't, like I said, I ain't going by the Bible, man. I'm going by what I feel, what common sense feels like, what I know is right and wrong, or maybe some of this is still in my mind, but not enough to have helped me through my life. So I don't know about that. Anyway, for their command is a lamp, and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is a way to life. It will keep you from the immoral woman, from the smooth tongue of a promiscuous woman. Don't lust for her beauty. Don't let her cozy glances seduce you, for a prostitute will bring you to poverty. But sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life. Oh, shit. Can a man scoop a flame into his lap and not have his clothes catch on fire? Can he walk on hot coals and not blister his feet? So it is with the man who sleep with another man's wife. Oh, sucky. A wife with strength of character is the crown of her husband, but the wife who disgraces him is like bone cancer. A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. A beautiful woman who lacks discretion is like a gold ring in a pig's snout. She has a seductive, persuasive, and evil mouth. The lips of an immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is as bitter as poison and as dangerous as a double-edged sword. Wisdom will save you also from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words. So you see what I'm saying, man? It's sense. It's just sense. We can't be no dogs, no female dogs or no male dogs. All that shit, all that's bait. The bait is so plentiful and numerous till it ain't funny. I mean, they popping cooches, throwing asses back, whatever, backing that ass up. They doing all that shit. Anything. Shaking it, twerking it, working it. All that is this. You warn. We warn so many ways. People want. Nobody don't want to hear this shit. Nobody don't want to hear that real. And I ain't, like I said, I'm reading this from the Bible. No doubt. I'm putting the Bible verses up. I'm not religious. Let's not get it confused. I'm not coming from that. But if you are, then this for you. Even if you aren't, this should be for you. This is sense. This is common sense right here. How you stay out of child support court in the first place before you ever get there. How you stay out of bad relationships before you ever get in them. And how you not keep getting in them. At some point, what the fuck? All these people claiming they religious. And they still going through Pookies and Ray Rays. I don't understand it. Oh, God, thank God. God, thank God. What? Y'all a joke. It's not real. I'm just saying how that's real. How is that real? And you believe, but you don't never crack the Bible open to nothing that gonna help you. What you reading? When do you read it? Once again, right? The pastor gonna tell you what you want to hear. He know you don't want to hear that, and if he's saying it, probably ignoring it. I imagine. And maybe that's what happened to me. The kid will be knowing, things you don't know about it. They don't break it down, read it, and then break it down in a way till you know how this is going to apply to you at some point, and then keep repeating. Like in school. Like I was telling my son, man, this shit is just the same thing over and over again. Some things elevate. The books get harder to read, but it's still just reading. At some point, it's not. Once you comprehend, you comprehend. And once the pictures start disappearing out the books, it is what it is. Like math is just math. Addition is addition. Multiplication, they add more numbers, but once you get it, you got it. So, repetition. Repetition. That's what I'm saying. That's how you teach a child things like that, That's how the girls wherever know to fix the plate for the boy, because they did it over and over and over and over. They was told to do that. If you're not told to do that over and over and over again, you're like, why I ain't doing that. That's the difference. All that. What's this one say? Like I say, it's a little disorganized, but maybe I'll work my way through it since I'm here. Why not? For she cares nothing about the path to life. She staggers down a crooked trail and doesn't realize it. So now, my sons, listen to me. Never stray from what I am about to say. Stay away from her. Don't go near the door. Oh, this is the promiscuous woman that from before. Don't go near the door of her house. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her path. Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throne. Better to live in the desert. Okay, so we've been through that. That's sort of the beginning. Well, I can't make it no more. This what they're doing in church now. That's the pastor. He said you had to put her out. You had to put her out of the church. I just saying, speaking of church. This church too. By the way, just saying. That's what they're doing in church. They're going with the girls, with the melons up, huh? Yeah, I think that's it. That might be all I got. Scriptures let us know to stay away from evil. Well, that's what we're not getting in common sense way because we brainwash. As I'm saying, so it's hard to accept the truth. It's hard to look at it. It's hard to even think about it. Matter of fact, I had my mama tell me certain things like you shouldn't even think that. You know what I mean? You ought to be ashamed of yourself for thinking that. The fuck? Can't think? So you can't think it. You can't conceive. If I say they be, I do not compute. I can't. Mama bad. No, never. No. She be beating your ass. No, this is not happening. But then gonna beat some other broad ass. Cause, she just like your mama, but she ain't actually your mama. But she doing your mama shit, and you can't handle it because mama told you life was supposed to be easy, and you can have anything you fucking want without working for it or even working hard for it or anything. You think everything gonna go your way. You think mama, like, she go argue them teachers down, she gonna come argue your wife down for you or your old lady down for you, and she might come jump in that bullshit, and probably will, matter of fact, at some point sooner or later. If not for the dude, definitely for the broad, for the woman. Scripture lets us know to stay away from evil women. They're greedy, rebellious, unsubmissive. So, listen to me. You claim you Christian. Why don't you know this? That's the end of it. Scripture lets us know to stay away from evil women. So if the woman is greedy, rebellious, unsubmissive, wicked, adulterous, gossiping, slandering, and sexually immoral, she is evil by the definition of the good book, of your holy Bible, of your good book. That's 8 things. That's American culture now, black culture. Twerking your ass, in public, showing your ass, titties out, ass out, hitting anything, body count like the most decorated soldier and shit. Huh? Body count like Vietnam. These are bad wives and evil women in the Bible have done great damage, such as leading Solomon astray, betraying Samson, and ordering the killing of John the Baptist. They're showing you this shit, man. They show like it can't get no more clear than this. Can it? This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and say, I've done nothing wrong. That's all day. All day, every day. So the only way to move forward is to accept the fact of I done said it all. Ain't no more breaking it down. I mean, I read through the verses. I done said it before in regular talk. I done read the verses. What more can I say? I think that's I'm sorry, I ain't read the comments be distracting me. So if there are any happening, I don't know. I ain't read them. I ain't there yet. Okay, well there's that. uh, but all right. I'm gonna wrap it up now. That's it. That's all I got. Okay, thank you for checking it out, and you check it out on the Rebroad, whatever. Appreciate you. I'm out. Peace.